March 1st, 9:42 p.m. My name is Ethan. I'm 34 years old. I live alone in a 2-bedroom apartment in Tacoma, Washington. And according to my doctor, I'm suffering from a transient stress-induced psychotic episode. Their words, not mine. I'm keeping this journal at the request of my therapist. She says documenting my thoughts might help me distinguish reality from delusion. Honestly, I think it'll just make me look more insane. But I'll do it. I'll write everything. Because something is happening. And if it isn't in my head, I need proof. March 2nd, 11:07 p.m. I was woken up last night by a sound in my closet. Not creaking boards or pipes settling like people say in horror movies. No, this was breathing. Deep, measured, wet. I stood at the foot of my bed for maybe 10 minutes, paralyzed. Eventually, I opened the closet door. Nothing, of course. But this morning, I noticed the faintest scratch marks on the inside of the door. 4 parallel lines. March 3rd, 3:18 a.m. I heard it again, the breathing. Then a soft tap. 4 times. Then silence. I tried recording it. But when I played the audio back, all I got was static. Like white noise wrapped in whispers. I replayed it 5 times. Each time, the static pattern changed. And on the last listen, I swear I heard my name. March 4th, 7:44 p.m. I covered the closet vent with duct tape and cardboard. If there's something in there, raccoons, rats, whatever, that'll block it out. But if I'm being honest, I don't think this is an animal. There's a crawl space above my closet. I never checked it before. The attic access isn't even in my unit. It's in the hallway, technically public. Still, something could be using it. Living up there, watching. Maybe I'll call the building manager. Or maybe I won't. Not sure I want to know. March 6th, 1:55 a.m. The footsteps started above me, but I live on the top floor. I grabbed a broomstick and banged on the ceiling. Silence. Then, faintly, tap, 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 tap back at me. Perfectly timed. March 7th, 2:11 a.m. I don't think it's in the closet anymore. I think it's inside the walls. I woke up to laughter tonight. My laughter, recorded, echoing. From the bathroom wall, I punched it. Drywall cracked. Nothing inside but darkness. March 9th, 9:39 p.m. I called my mom. Just to hear a normal voice. She said I sounded different. Asked if I'd been sleeping. I lied. She said she heard someone whispering behind me. I was alone. March 10th, 3:03 a.m. I saw it. I swear to God I saw it. Something crawled out of the crawl space in the hallway while I was taking the trash out. It moved wrong. Like it didn't have joints. Like its limbs were folding the wrong way. I froze. It stared at me from the darkness. It didn't blink. Its eyes were too wide. Its mouth opened, but nothing came out. Then it crawled back up. I ran inside and locked everything. I didn't sleep. March 11th, 6:00 p.m. Someone slipped a note under my door. Stop writing about me. The handwriting looked like mine. March 12th, 2:45 a.m. I stayed up tonight. Cup of black coffee. Knife on the table. Lights off. I was determined to see it if it came again. 3:12 a.m. I heard the front door creak. but it was still locked. Then the closet door creaked open by itself. I didn't move. It whispered, "I like what you're writing." Then silence. March 13th, 12:02 p.m. I checked the front door security cam. No footage. The file is missing from last night. I called the landlord. He said the system's been down for 2 days. I swear it worked yesterday morning. I watched the mailman deliver my package. March 14th, 1:11 a.m. It's inside me. That's not metaphorical. I can feel it crawling under my skin, behind my eyes, whispering through my teeth. I blink and things shift. My reflection sometimes doesn't match my movements. My voice echoes when I'm alone. The light in my apartment flickers when I speak certain words. Words like truth, remember, leave. March 16th, 3:33 a.m. I stabbed myself. Just once. Shallow. In the thigh. I needed to feel something. To make sure I'm still me. I bled. But the blood was wrong. It didn't feel warm. It was cold. Sluggish. Almost like ink. March 17th. Time is breaking. I've been writing for what feels like hours. But my clock hasn't moved. The sun didn't rise. I looked out the window and the sky was static gray. Like a paused TV screen. No people, no cars, just stillness. Like the world stopped. Like I was the last file on a corrupted hard drive. March 18th. I woke up on the floor. Notebook open beside me. Words scrawled across the page. I am what's left after you're gone. I didn't write it. The handwriting isn't mine. March 19th. Final entry. They're reading this now. Through my eyes. They want you to know they exist. They live in the blind spots of perception. In the skips between seconds. In the breaths we forget to count. You don't believe me, that's fine. You will. When you start hearing your name in the silence. When you wake up to find your own journal already written. When something knocks from inside the walls and answers when you knock back. I told you I was real. August 3rd. I didn't know what I was walking into when I signed the lease. I just wanted a place of my own. A fresh start. You know, after the breakup, the job loss, the spiral. My name's Alex. I'm 30, graphic designer, freelancer, which means always broke. And I just moved into apartment 4B on East Hamilton Street in Tacoma. It's small, kind of outdated, but the rent is affordable and the landlord didn't ask too many questions. A few neighbors seemed distant. One older lady on the 3rd floor looked at me like she was afraid for me, literally flinched when I introduced myself. I brushed it off until I found the notebook. August 5th. It was tucked in the very back of the kitchen cabinet, between the wall and the cabinet frame, like it had slipped down and been forgotten. The cover was water damaged, warped, almost sticky to the touch. Inside, dozens of pages, handwritten. The name Ethan appears at the top of the first entry. By page 2, I realized this wasn't a grocery list or an old planner. It was a journal, a terrifying one. August 8th, I've read all 39 entries. Each one gets worse. More erratic, more disturbing. By the end, Ethan was seeing something in the walls, hearing whispers, talking to something inside him. His final entry didn't even feel like it was written by the same person. The handwriting changed. It slants differently, like someone else, something else, wrote it through him. What the actual hell did I just move into? August 10th, I had a dream last night, if you can call it that. I was standing in the hallway outside my unit. The lights were off. A buzzing sound filled the air, like static and flies. The closet door in my apartment was open. Something was standing inside. Tall, gray, no mouth, too many eyes. It pointed at me and whispered in a voice that wasn't a voice. "You found it. Now it knows you." I woke up gasping. Cold sweat. The notebook was open beside my bed. To a page I hadn't read before. August 12th entry, found at the back of the notebook. Different ink, date unclear. Whoever reads this, I'm sorry. You're not alone anymore. It listens through the silence. It learns through your thoughts. And once you know it exists, it will never forget you. I didn't write that, but I read it. So now what? August 13th. Lights flickered twice while I was working. Internet dropped, came back. My Spotify queue reset. When I checked my desktop, a file was open I hadn't touched in months. It was blank. Then, one word appeared on its own. Echo. My hallway light exploded an hour later, glass embedded in the floor like teeth. I tried to call my sister. My phone rang once and then picked up. No one answered, but I heard breathing. August 16th, I recorded myself sleeping last night. Mic plus webcam. Playback this morning, 3:17 a.m. The closet door slowly opens. I'm still asleep. 3:18. A shadow moves across the screen, crawling on the ceiling. 3:19. My own voice whispers, "Don't wake up, don't remember. Stay asleep." 3:20. Silence. Closet door swings closed. I've never felt so alone while being watched. August 18th, it's no longer just dreams. Woke up with scratches down my back. No blood, just burned skin, like something with heat for fingers dragged them down my spine. I checked the closet again. The drywall is soft, like something has been pushing outward. August 20th, emergency entry. The landlord just called. Apparently, a tenant named Ethan Reed went missing last year. Left everything behind. Wallet, keys, phone. When I asked if it was in 4B, he paused, then said he wasn't at liberty to disclose tenant histories. I found the name Reed scratched into the underside of the sink pipe this evening. With a finger, not a tool, a damn finger. The final letter was unfinished, as if he was interrupted. August 21st, I've made a decision. I'm not staying here another night. But when I tried to pack my bags, the door slammed shut behind me. Locked itself. My key snapped in half. The lights cut out. The only glow is from the closet, barely open. And I swear to God, I see something inside it. Crouched, smiling. Final entry. If you find this notebook, it's already too late. You're reading about it. It's watching you through the words. The silence around you isn't empty. It's listening, waiting. And when you're alone tonight, don't look in the closet. Edit. They never found Alex. Apartment 4B has remained unoccupied since. But the next time a new tenant signs the lease, the landlord will slide the key across the counter and say nothing. He doesn't have to. The closet will introduce itself. It's your turn now. September 1st, 9:17 a.m. Audio log. Detective Fallon. Received new file this morning. A missing persons report. Name: Alexander R. Thompson, 30 years old, male. Report filed by sister after he missed their weekly phone call. Check the lease history. Address: Apartment 4B, East Hamilton Street. Tenant only lived there a month. Disappeared last week. Door found locked from the inside. No signs of forced entry. No body. Just eaten gone. The responding officer noted something strange. The bed was made, lights still on, but the closet door was wide open. No signs of a struggle. Nothing looked out of place except for the notebook they found on the floor by the bed. September 1st, 11:42 a.m. Field notes. Apartment 4B. The air in the unit was stale. There's no smell of decay. No blood. Nothing concrete to grab onto. Except one thing. The closet door won't stay shut. I tried 3 times. It creaks open slowly after a minute or so. Always stopping at the same angle. Just wide enough for someone inside to see out. Not that there's anyone in there. I checked, but the drywall at the back, crumbling, discolored, warm, like someone or something has been pressing against it. September 2nd, 7:03 p.m. Audio log. Detective Fallon. I've started reading the journal we recovered. It belonged to the tenant before Alex, a man named Ethan Reed. Entries date back 6 months. It starts off like any normal journal. Then things shift. Mentions of whispering through the vents. The feeling of being watched. The sense that something was learning him, molding itself to him. The scariest part? The final few pages seemed written by someone else. The handwriting changes. There's mention of echoes and a door inside the wall that can't be seen. He writes about a shadow that mimics his movements a second too late. He claims it lives in the silence between thoughts. September 4th, 2:51 a.m. Incident report. Officer Jenkins. Patrol responded to 911 call from neighbor in 4A. Claim. Heard whispering and movement coming from apartment 4B. The one currently sealed off. Officers arrive. Door still locked from the inside. No light. No sign of forced entry. Upon entry, closet door found wide open. One phrase written on the inside wall in black marker. It doesn't mimic you anymore. You mimic it. September 6th. Personal notes. Fallon's journal. I brought the journal home. I know I shouldn't have, but something about it felt unfinished. Page 39 ends mid-sentence. Then it jumps to page 42. There are 2 missing pages. Torn clean. Like someone didn't want them read. I think I found one. It was tucked under the floorboard beneath the radiator. The ink is smeared, water damaged, but I can make out enough. I thought it was inside the closet. But the closet was just a mouth. The whole apartment is alive. You hear it breathing when the pipes settle. It became me. I don't remember when I last had a thought that was my own. September 8th. Body cam footage transcript, filed but sealed under Internal Affairs Review. 01:02 a.m. Detective Fallon enters 4B. 1:05 a.m. Fallon approaches the closet, mutters, "I just need to know." 1:06 a.m. Fallon steps inside closet. Flashlight flickers. 1:07 a.m. Low whisper captured on mic. Undetermined source. Voice distorted. Echo, 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 echo. 1:08 a.m. Footage cuts to static. Last visible frame, Fallon's face, blank, mouth slightly open, eyes unfocused, like she's looking at something behind the camera. September 9th. Final entry. Detective Fallon's apartment is empty. Found unlocked. No signs of struggle. Her badge and gun still on the kitchen table. Journal found in her bedroom. Open to a page that was never written by Ethan or Alex. The writing is in her hand. It reads, "If I'm not me anymore, please burn this place down. It doesn't need walls to spread. It lives in silence. It hides in memory. And now it's watching you." Case status, unresolved. The notebook is now locked in the evidence vault, but staff report hearing it rustle late at night. No one's caught it moving. Not yet. Every story is a mouth. Some just bite back. March 18th, I can't sleep again. The whispers are louder now, not the usual creaks of the house settling, or the distant sounds of traffic outside. No, these are voices. Whispered syllables that crawl across the walls like insects. They slither through the vents, under the door, sometimes from right behind me. I tried plugging my ears with tissues, then headphones, white noise machines. Didn't matter. I still hear them, not with my ears, but somewhere deeper, in my chest, in my bones. I tried recording the sounds last night. I left my phone on the nightstand with the camera rolling, aimed at the ceiling. The result? Static. Garbled, choppy audio, like it was trying to erase something. It's always static when I play it back. But I know what I heard. I've started hearing phrases now. Bits of some language I don't understand. Words with too many consonants and not enough vowels. Some of them feel familiar, even though I know they're not. One word in particular keeps showing up like a whisper just before I drift off. Vashem. It doesn't sound human, but it knows me. I asked the doctor today if auditory hallucinations could create new words. He just looked at me like I was losing it. Maybe I am. But last night I wasn't alone in this house. I'm sure of it. March 21st, I found footprints. They were small, barefoot, damp. The floorboard near the hallway squeaked louder than usual this morning. I looked down and saw the smudged outline of a foot in the dust. Not mine. My own feet are calloused and wide. This print was child-sized. Except I haven't had children in this house, ever. I don't even have guests. I followed the trail into the kitchen. But the prints vanished right before the fridge. Vanished. Like someone walked in from nowhere and disappeared into the tile. I checked the doors and windows again, still locked. Then I checked the attic. Nothing. Checked the crawl space, still sealed. But that whisper from a few nights ago. Vashem? I swear I heard it again as I stood in the hallway, staring at the floor. Only this time, it came from under the floorboards. I didn't even have to imagine it. It was there, clear, like someone had put their mouth against the wood and spoke through it. I stayed awake the whole night, sitting on the floor with a kitchen knife, trying to decide whether I should start tearing up the boards. Something's underneath this house, something that knows I'm listening. March 24th, the house is listening. No, I'm not speaking metaphorically. I'm not losing my mind. Not anymore. The walls, they breathe. I was in the kitchen again. My sanctuary. Or it used to be making coffee to calm my nerves. And I heard a low thrum through the cabinets. Not a hum like a fridge or a boiler. It was more like a voice trying not to be a voice. A vibration pretending to be a sound. I pressed my ear against the wall and held my breath. The wood was warm. Too warm. Then a whisper, stretched like rubber. Don't trust your eyes. I ripped back from the wall, spilled hot coffee across the floor, stared at it for 10 minutes, burned my hand and didn't care. Later that night, while brushing my teeth, I looked up at the mirror and saw myself blinking, out of sync with my reflection. It didn't register at first. I blinked. The reflection blinked after. A half-second delay. It wasn't my mirror. It was a screen. I stood there staring for so long. I forgot the toothbrush was still in my mouth. Eventually, I lifted my hand, slowly, like I was trying to fool the thing watching me. I moved left. My reflection moved right. And then it smiled. I didn't. March 25th. I think this is the last page I'll ever write. Maybe not the last page in this notebook, but definitely mine. I didn't sleep. I didn't even close my eyes. Every shadow in this house now moves like it's watching me. I left every light on, every room. But somehow, the dark still finds a way in. I tried to call someone today. Anyone. My phone powered on just fine, but the screen wouldn't respond to my touch. Not broken, frozen, and when it did finally flicker to life, there were 3 missed calls from my own number. I hadn't made any. I haven't even touched the dialer since that night with the man in the black coat. When I tried to play one of the voicemails, I heard a rustling sound, like breathing, but not mine. It was wet, almost glottal, and it whispered back everything I said yesterday, word for word. How do you explain that? You don't. I tried smashing the mirror. The one in the bathroom. The one with the delayed reflection. When the glass shattered, there was no wall behind it. Just darkness. Not drywall, not insulation, just an open void. And in that void, I saw something watching me. I don't even know if it had a face, but I felt its attention like a physical weight pressing into my ribs. It didn't move. It didn't need to. March 25th. Later, I've locked every door. Pushed the couch against the front. Kitchen chairs against the back. I'm writing this from the floor of the hallway, with my back against the wall. There's only one light still working. The one above me. Everything else flickered and went out an hour ago. I saw my reflection again. Not in a mirror this time. In the window. It looked like me. But it wasn't blinking anymore. It was just smiling. Wide, still, patient. I screamed. I turned around. No one there. But when I looked back, the window was empty. March 25th. Final entry. There's someone in the walls. Not like a burglar or an animal. No footsteps. No scurrying. Just a presence. I hear breathing through the drywall, clicking through the vents. And now I hear writing, scraping like a pen, mimicking mine. I'm not the only one keeping a journal. Something else is writing my story, and it's almost done. If anyone finds this notebook, you might think I was insane. Maybe that's the safest way to see it. But if the mirror ever blinks wrong, if your phone rings and no one's there, but your own voice whispering back, run, don't look back, because it's already seen you.